Welcome to my YouTube channel. This episode is all going to be about slot car tools, but not your screwdrivers or your spanners or your Allen keys. Slightly different tools, off-piece tools. Ones like this. This is one I'm going to use for bodywork. Very simple and cheap to make. And again, this one here used for testing cars. Again, very simple and very easy to make. So let's head over to our workshop now. Okay, so this is one of my tools that I make. It's quite a useful tool. You can use it for various things. One thing I use it for initially was just for painting. So if you screw that up into there like so, you can put it in a vise, you can spray paint, you can hold, you can put stickers on. Very useful little tool and very simple and very easy to make. So I'm going to show you now how I actually make it. I've actually done 3 because sometimes if you want to, after you've painted the car and you want to put it up with a car that's got 3 points on it, if you had 3 little tools like that, you can just rest on a tool. I'll show you a picture of that in a minute. Here it goes. So you just get any 3 bits of, got to be steel bar, don't use stainless, just steel bar. Any offcuts you've got, don't have to be this length, you can make them any length you want. I then use the screws out of a slot.it or the slot.it body screws because they're quite nice and flat. And then it's a very simple case. All you've got to do is, again, there's another useful tool. These are sort of inside out pinchers which you can hold like that. This is flux, just a standard bit of flux. Put that on the end of it. And my little torch for heating. And then you just heat up the end of the bar and melt a bit of solder on it. It didn't take too long. Solder starting to melt. There we go. Put a fair bit on, and then you get your screw and you place it on the end. The hardest bit is trying to keep it square. And let the solder die down. Sorry, the heat die down, and the heat on the screw die down. Solder still hasn't gone off yet. It takes a while. It still hasn't gone off. Oops, there we go. That's how simple it is to make one. I won't bore you with making another 3. Another 2. I'll make another 2 and then show you how they fit on the body. So yeah, you can see I've done 3, held it up. So it makes it quite useful for working on the car. I mean, essentially you really only need 1, but yeah, so I'm doing the video, I've done it for 3, so I've got some spares as well. Another thing you probably saw me using was this tool. Very useful. It's a little heat gun. I think chefs even use them. You can buy them online. This one I got from Blue Point. The other really good thing with this, and I take it slot car racing all the time, is it's got the adaptation you can put on the end. So all of a sudden that turns that into a soldering iron. So if you haven't got any electricity nearby, or you want something quick, because this heats up a hell of a lot quicker than electricity does. So yeah, very quick and simple soldering iron. So again, all part of my tools, a useful addition to anybody's collection of tools. Right, whilst we're talking about hydro dipping, because I might hydro dip this one in a minute. This is something I've done a few weeks ago. I hydro dipped my True Speed controller handle. It was a clear design, and I wanted to do something a bit different. A lot of people paint them from the inside out so it doesn't chip off, but with the hydro dipping, the great thing is what you can do with this is it actually goes on the outside. I haven't done it on the inside. It's all I've done with that is hydro dipped it and then given it a few layers of lacquer, and it's quite a nice carbon fibre effect. True Speed controller. And whilst we're talking about True Speed, I'll move on to a few more of the tools or things that True Speed do, which a few of you may not know. This tool here is very useful. It's a clear plastic plate, but so your tyres aren't resting all the time on a surface, it stops them from getting any flats on. This is a really nice way of holding your cars to keep all the tyres off the surface. So again, nice little bit of kit from them. And whilst we're talking about getting cars level, over here, now this is a flat plate. I think everybody should have a flat plate. This actually came off one of our race cars. It's a fuel tank cover. I just literally put a slot in it. Very important to make sure your chassis or your car is nice and level. Now hopefully we can get up close enough. Now this one isn't, I haven't set it up yet. Now if you look on the front wheel there, you can see there's a gap. Yeah, I think if we go around to this side, you can see the front wing isn't quite level. So that's two things I've got to do to this car, is straighten up the axle and obviously straighten the bodywork up. I did say obviously again, I apologise. And when you get round to the back, you can do the same as well to make sure the chassis is nice and level at the back. So a very useful tool. I suggest using metal for it. I mean, steel might rust. I've used aluminium. Plastic can warp a bit. You want something that stays flat all the time, and it doesn't have to be anything expensive or flash. Just a piece of material with a slot cut in it. So again, another very useful piece of tooling. Next on my list of tools is this little test device. I use it, as you can see, if I put this car on, you can use it for testing lights, make sure your motor's working, make sure you've got the direction of travel for your car so it's not going backwards. Very, very simple to make. This is an old fly base, which I've just extended the slot in. I then got two pieces of braid soldered either end. And then onto that braid, if you turn it over, I've just connected a little 9-volt battery. Now these connectors here you can buy online for nothing. I just checked online, and to buy one, including the postage, was £1.50. So it's such an easy thing to do. Connect that on. I just got it stuck on with a bit of tape. You could do nice. I started off with glue. That wasn't so good, but very, very simple, very, very useful, and very, very cheap and easy to make. Right, the next tool on the list is the age-old pinion puller and putting on tool. This is a really old one. I bought, was one of my first tools when I first started racing. I think I can do a bit better. To quickly explain for you that don't know, you put that on there, wind that down, that takes the pinion off, and opposite you pop your pinion roughly in place, wind that down, and it puts your pinion back on the motor again. I said this is very old and basic. I've been looking around, and Slot.it make a really nice one. I think that could be one of my investments for the future. And apart from that, this has got me thinking. FLBT this year are going to be doing the new Slot.it 24-hour championship. So we're racing in Spain, Italy, and Belgium, Brussels. So if we have a pinion go there, we need to change it quite quickly, and obviously time's of the essence, because every 10 seconds you there or thereabouts you lose a lap. So if you take an extra 2 minutes or whatever changing your pinion, you've lost a hell of a lot of time. So yeah, I'm going to be looking at how I could design one to go around the motor, so we haven't got to take the motor out of the car, and I'm going to go through a design process and then have to probably mill it, etc., etc. So it's giving me an idea for another video in the future. Next up, this isn't a tool as such, but it's something very handy for slot cars. You might think, what is it? It's a big roll of lead, and this is primarily used for windows. If you want to put fake lead onto the outside of a window to make it look it's got more panes than you think it has, the people that do windows just stick this stuff on. Now, it's very useful. It's a very simple way of adding lead to a car. It's very cheap. You can buy a roll of that for probably about £15, something like that, and that roll will last me for years. And you think, well, where might I use it? Well, a classic case on one of our classes, Classic F1, you can see what I've done there. It just sticks straight onto the underside of this wing, because I was having, trying to keep the slot in the groove. So yeah, just another very simple and quick and easy tip. You can cut it quite quickly with a pair of scissors, stick it on, and you're ready to go. This is my workstation area. I'm very lucky. Back when we stopped the race team in the gearbox building place, this was our gearbox shop. Over the other side there, you can see here, that's where the main bench was, and this is my secondary bench over here. And I've now changed it all to be my slot car, so I'm not building gearboxes anymore. So it's been quite a nice area, because it's all used to be full of transmission stuff. You can see I've got my tyre truer over here. Up here I've had the luxury of putting shelves up. These are my, I think, commonly termed as shelf queens. I love the sort of 1970s and 80s cars. I come along, and that's all our 24-hour cars, all cars I've competed in 24-hour races. And these are just various other cars that I've had, in fact, over the time. These two up here probably some of the most. That was my dad when he first started racing, and I think he bought the set for me in about 1965, and that were the first two electric cars I ever got to run, but I was very, very young at the time. So what else have we got here? Lights, etc. If you dive under the bench a second, this is quite a useful tool. You might be able to find these. I know some of my colleagues at FLBT have started using them as well now. This is an old office file, and they're quite handy because the metal they pull out, and the ideal size for storing slot car stuff, and you can keep in there whatever you like. See, I've got all mine nicely labelled, but I keep all sorts of stuff from wheels, stickers, etc, etc. So quite nice tucked away out the place. Now the next bit's a bit of overkill and self-indulgence, but we've all got to do that from time to time. So in here, these are the cars that I race. I've used what they call shadow foam, and I've cut it out so the tyres aren't touching on the base. And the cars that you see that are upside down, why are they upside down? Are the cars that I still need some work on. So I've got one this side, that's my single seaters, and I come the other side, and this is for all my GT and sports cars. So again, one's upside down, one's missing, but these for all the classes that we run on FLBT. I've got things like my chassis flattener over there as well. Oh, this is another little tool that True Speed do. Really nice if you want to store tyres. Put your wheels and tyres in there, keeps them nice and safe and sound. So again, that's another little thing that True Speed make. Right, I hope you enjoyed that video. This concludes the video. Please, the usual, like and subscribe, and watch out for my next video.